Hello Internet friends, and welcome to the Legion Beta, or Alpha, Elemental Shaman preview of the last 3 hours. I'm going to summarize up here for you. We're starting out again in the Siege of Orgrimmar, because I need to show you Lightning Rod, as people will ask what Lightning Rod looks like. And it doesn't work on the target dummies, so we pull a whole bunch of guys here, and I'll dot them up. I'll notice first, of course, that Flame Shock has no cooldown, so you're all aware of that is a thing. Then I'll put Lightning Rod on this guy, and then spam Chain Lightning. I'll just Lightning Bolt so you can see the Lightning Rod procs here. It's just extra AoE damage. Nothing too crazy. I'll put some Flame Shocks back up here before I die, so I maybe test out... maybe not. I'll do a different pack of mobs for Earthquake and Magnitude, which is the, like, molten lava puke from the ground if you have Earthquake down. It does do a lot of damage to you as an Elemental Shaman. It's like a lot of damage. Healing Surge has the same synergy as Enhancement Shaman, only that it doesn't get faster with more Maelstrom that you have. So, as I walk over here, I'll go over a couple things on the class. Lava Surge is still here. It's apparently a 10% base chance. You can increase it to 20% chance with Elemental Fusion. Elemental Overload is still here for your Mastery, your multi-strike sort of synergy. Right now it says 75% of the normal damage and Maelstrom generation on the duplicated spell, but right now it's doing 50%. So it could just be a bug, tooltip error, or something like that. Let's see. Lava Surge. Elemental Fury is still here. You do 250% crit damage on your spell critical strikes. Elemental Focus is different now because you don't have mana as an Elemental Shaman. Elemental Focus just gives you your next 2 spells after you hit a non-periodic crit for the next 2 spells to do 20% more damage. So it's just a damage buff. You can kind of weave that in with things, but what I was being told with your artifact weapon, which I'm not testing with the artifact weapon for Elemental, just because it has some interesting synergies with the class immediately, whereas enhancement just on one of the animations. So, but Elemental Focus just happens, I guess, because your Lightning Bolt is kind of weak without the artifact, but it gets a lot stronger with it. So, Echo the Elements I have currently, just because I'm using Lava Burst, I'll be testing that out in a moment. And that's sort of everything. Flame Shock is 0 to 20 Maelstrom now, where it will deal more time. The duration will go up based on the Maelstrom spent. Frost Shock, again, more time based on the Maelstrom spent. Earth Shock is 10 to 100. In the talking today, we thought like around 80 is the good time to like lob it off due to Overload procs giving you Maelstrom and you not wanting to overcap your Maelstrom. But it still has Fulmination built in. It's just not like this is Fulmination. This is what it does now. It's just that it's all into Earth Shock. So that's just what it is. Earthquake Totem, which I will now show off now. I'll show off Earthquake Totem with Magnitude, which means that anytime that a target is standing in Earthquake with Flame Shock, gouts of magma will erupt at their feet, dealing extra damage. Earthquake Totem is 80 Maelstrom for a 10-second cooldown, where it's just Earthquake. It's an instant cast, though. No cast time. It's just pop on the ground. Does physical damage over 10 seconds, within 8 yards of the radius, and then a 10% chance of knocking them down, which I was told isn't affected by, like, PvP diminishing returns. So, sounds crazy. Chain Lightning is still here, doing Chain Lightning things. Looks different, which I'll show off again right here. Lightning Bolt is your main builder. What else? Lava Burst is still here. Generates 15 Maelstrom. It doesn't have the weird crit synergy and automatic crit thing anymore like it does in Warlords. Lava Burst is only crits guaranteed if Flame Shock is on the target. But again, since Flame Shock has no cooldown, you can just keep spamming it. So I will try to build up Maelstrom and not die to these guys. They do a lot of damage. I might summon Earth Elemental on these. Earth Elemental is your only damage reduction cooldown if you want to go in that route. He does give you a 30% shield. He'll also taunt stuff, but he's kind of dumb. I put some Flame Shocks out here before these mobs die. That's a re-click on the wrong one. I can't click on the right one. Please help me. Nope. Well, that's not going to work. Mobs die too fast. Let me put it on this one. Yeah. Due to the fact that cross-dotting is kind of weird now with Elemental Shaman, so I don't know how to show this off. I can try to show it off on the dummies a little better. I wanted to get more mobs in this, but that shows off something that's kind of a weird back and forth now with Elemental, is that you can spam Flame Shock, but it does take up to 20 Maelstrom. So cross-dotting is kind of interesting now, whereas you have to like set up for cross-dotting a lot more than you had to now, because you can only cross out every 6 seconds on live. So the fact that you can cross that with no duration, which you don't want to do because that was just not enough time. It only lasts for 10 seconds. You want it to last a long time. And showing that off there with the Earth Elemental. Pet AI is still buggy. My bug report will be in a Google document listed in the video description box there. So if you want to read all of my notes, please feel free to check that out down below. But I'll show off what I think would be beneficial for AoE is actually to use one of your new talents here. Path of the Elements just reduces the cooldown of your elemental cast by 60 seconds. I'll show that off a little bit more with the fact that you can summon multiple totems at the same time. Not totems anymore. But Maelstrom Totem is... It's like a new version of Searing Totem, I guess. I'm just casting Totem McFury real quick here just so I can generate more. Actually, Totem McFury's not working right now? Oh, because it's the wrong totem. That's a bug that I have to talk to you about as well. So let me put down some, oop, that was the wrong button there. That was a Earth Shock. Doesn't have a special animation. Earth Shock doesn't. It doesn't do anything special. It's just like blurp. Just throws the Earthbind, or Rock Biter little hit there. Let me build up here. I'll only put out one Flame Shock just so I can actually get the Earthquake going, and then I'll show you what happens when you do have it and when you don't have it up. So let me put a Earthquake down, or a Flame Shock down here, and then an Earthquake Totem with one more cast. Right there. Oop, Lua error. Interesting. So there's the Gout. That's Magnitude, and there's casting it again. Magnitude will automatically happen. So that's just that. It's an extra AoE passive. It doesn't do any damage right now, but I'm sure it will in the future. But that's what Earthquake looks like as well, if you want to see that. My phone dinged at me for some reason. Let's see. Lava Burst still procs and goes crazy. Again, there's Earth Shock, Lava Burst. Here's the Chain Lightning at like a different angle. It's sort of like a lot of bolts come out of the Shaman now. I'm not really sure if that's intentional that like the extra bolts fly out, but it looks freaking cool. And power overwhelming, am I right? It's a Fire Mage doing some work here now too. Again, I'll put out Maelstrom Totem and Totemic Fury right now is bugged because the Lightning Totem you get from Totemic Fury, which is one of your new 100 talents, gives you a Lightning Bolt reduction cast, but it doesn't synergize with Maelstrom Totem because if you cast this, then this goes away. If you cast this, then this goes away. Or this one goes away. It doesn't work properly, so they have to fix that, I am sure. But I'll get Storm Elemental going real quick here, and then I'll kind of go deeper into all these different talents. Let me pick Path of Elements so I can retest things. But your elements, your elementals, are no longer tied to totems anymore as an elemental shaman. They are just a summon. So I'll get my Flame Shocks out here so they have something to attack. So I took Sons of Flame here as well, because we talked about Magnitude already. Sons of Flame gives you 2 Sons of Flame when you have out your Fire Elemental. Let me get some longer dots going here. So I'll summon the Storm Elemental, which will, you know, there's Stormy doing his Stormy things. And then if I summon the Fire Elemental, again, the pet AI is kind of bugged. You get not only your Storm Elemental, but your Fire Elemental, and your 2 little Sons of Flame. So every little elemental army, which is pretty neat. Feels very elemental shaman-y. I think it's a super cool thing. This is the new Lightning Bolt animation, again from the side angle. It sort of like breaks into your body because the extra hook goes from your other hand. So it looks better straight on than at an angle, but again, placeholder graphic maybe. They're still working on it. Who knows? So that's them doing their stuff. Look at them go. Yeah. The difference here you're seeing, if you take Primal Elementalist, because you get direct control over your elemental, you have to weave them. You can do Storm Elemental and Sons of Flame, Fire Elemental like this, but if you take Primal Elementalist, you have to do one at a time. If you summon one, then the other, because they don't share a cooldown, they will kill the other totem off and you will lose it. I guess totem, but summon off. So be careful with that. Primal Elementalist does still have the same thing for Wind Elemental. He has the knockup, he has the movement speed aura, he has the self buff, and then he casts the Wind Blast. Primal Elementalist Fire Elemental, which I can show off as the timer goes down here in a moment, is that he has Immolate, Fire Blast, Fire Nova, which he casts at his target, like an actual mage's Fire Nova, and then, I guess it's called Blast Wave. Ours is Fire Nova, theirs is Blast Wave. And then he also has Living Bomb. He'll get 2 Living Bombs off, I think, during his duration, unless he casts one immediately and then casts one. It's at the 30-second cooldown. But Living Bomb is just like it is from Baron-Geddon. It deals fire damage over time, and then it explodes. And it has the same little crazy fire tornado animation, which I'll show off again in 3 minutes to talk about more stuff here. But that is, again, so Totemic Fury we're talking about Primal Elementalist, it just summons these totems down, and you gain damage on your Lava Burst by 50%, damage on your Earth Shock by 50%, and damage on your Lightning Bolt, it was for the cast time at least, by 50%. So you cast really fast Lightning Bolts, so you can get more generation going on there. So the problem is these 3 totems don't attack anything. Again, full bug report will be in the video description box below. These don't attack anything. They just sit here and look funny. And again, if you summon Maelstrom Totem now, this Lightning Totem disappears. So there's still some bugs there that are a problem. And then Ascendance is still here. Ascendance is a 4-minute cooldown for Elemental, which is kind of weird. It's a 5-minute cooldown for Enhancement. They both last 30 seconds though. But Ascendance makes Chain Lightning, Lava Beam, and it makes Flame Shock, supposed to be, or at least Earth Shock, supposed to go to Lava Shock, which Earth Shock will then also apply Flame Shock. But right now, if I can show you this without, yeah, because that's on cooldown now. So Ascending will look the same. But it looks like Lava Shock also replaces Frost Shock as well, which shouldn't do that. You're obviously going to cast Lightning Bolt during this, but I'm just showing you the animations. There's Lava Beam. There is Earth Shock a la Lava Shock. But it does turn too many things into Lava Shock. When I first cast this, actually, it turned Flame Shock into Lava Shock too. But, yeah, so there's Lava Shock, Earth Shock, which just deals... it says Lava Shock damage, and then it does Flame Shock damage as well. So it does both abilities? It's interesting. But that's the new Ascendance, I guess, for Elemental. New, I guess, but... It seems like it's more of like a cleave or burst cooldown, whereas Totemic Fury is very much for... You can sit still and, like, turret, because you don't have Spirit Walker's Grace anymore. That's very much gone. But... I'm not sure. And then Primal Elementalist actually has some really good... Okay, Lava Surge, calm down. Primal Elementalist actually has some really good synergies with the Fire Elemental for actually doing AoE damage for 1 minute, but which I will show off now. Let's see, Fire Elemental, there you are. So you can see all those buttons. Living Bomb, Immolate, Fire Nova, if he wants to cast it. There it goes right there, boom, and then he'll cast Fire Blast. And it's a 30-second cooldown on Living Bomb, 10-second on Immolate, and 10-second on Fire Nova. So Living Bomb is neat that he gets that added. But again, you can't summon your Storm Elemental, because if you do, this one dies. And then you get Stormy. And Stormy's still here, so make sure, because they don't share a cooldown anymore, that you don't do that accidentally if you're going the Summoner build. There's like a new build for for Elemental Shaman, that you can feel like you're playing like a Summoner. You can summon a bunch of Elementals. And there is a little bit of synergy with that with the Fist of Ra-Den as well. So there's kind of a... Also... These aren't totems anymore, so you can't totemic recall, because that doesn't exist. And then when you click off the buff, they still stay. So there are still some things that are not working properly. But while Stormy does some things, I'll throw off some spells and I'll go over everything else. So we saw Lightning Rod earlier. Liquid Magma is here for Elemental Shaman. It's just Liquid Magma. It's all totems, which let me get a comment real quick. I guess I can show you this real quick too. All totems now are... I'm going to be talking about because this guy is still alive. All totems have automatic projection built in. So they have Lightning Surge, Earth Grab, Voodoo Totem. Voodoo Totem is just replaces Hex. But Liquid Magma, since Elemental actually gets 2 different totems, because we still have Wind Rush the same, is that Liquid Magma is just a set, it's just you automatically can project it into where you want it to go. And it'll start, you know, molten vomiting over all the things. It looks a little more impressive because the fire birds are flying out there, but... Or the fire phoenixes. But Liquid Magma is now an elemental thing, which again gives you more options for like Burst Cleave or AoE, because you've got Magnitude, you've got Earthquake Totem, you've got Spreading Flame Shocks, you've got your Primal Elementalist Fire Elemental, possibly putting Living Bombs and stuff up. You've got Liquid Magma Totem now too. Elemental has a lot of choice as a ranged DPS hybrid, because you have to be able to do both single target and AoE and cleave now. That's the new stance that Blizzard's trying to put together in Legion, is that you shouldn't need to like change everything you do as a raid, like change your actual class comp. You can just have people change their talents, and that way they can adapt to situations at hand. AS is still here, 10% haste, kind of weak. People were asking me if, like, going AS Sons of Flame Storm Elemental during Heroism with Storm Elemental out Fire Elemental out, your 2 Sons of Flame out, and then giving them an extra 10% haste and under heroism might be good because they scale up your paper doll. Maybe. It's fine. Elemental Blast is here. A quick note on Elemental Blast is that if I can get this to happen, Elemental Blast can overload and can give you 2 procs. I'll just cast here for a little bit while I wait for that to cool back down. It can give you 2 different procs, which I'm not sure if that's going to be that beneficial or not. Damn it, I knew it's not going to do it when I actually have to record. Whereas Echo gives you just 3 lava bursts, and having 3 lava bursts will give you the insurance to not waste Lava Surge procs. Whereas if you don't have this, if you get a Lava Surge proc, it's gone. Elemental Blast also costs 30 Maelstrom, and I guess Earth Shock like a dum-dum. So let's Elemental Blast again here and see if we get 2 procs. Nope, of course not. Why would you work when I'm recording Elemental Blast? Why would you do that? That'd be just ridiculous. But already said that Thunderstorm is still here. Still does Thunderstorm things. Again, there's no mana component, so you don't have to worry about that anymore, but it still does the knockback and the slow. Damn it. Come on, work with me here. I'm trying to make a video for the YouTubes. What else can I talk about while this is cooling down? I'll put another blurp, little Earth Shock there action going on. I don't think it needs to have a different animation. It doesn't really have much of an animation right now. But let's do this. Elemental Blurst, please. Nope. Trust me, it can give you 2. Lightning Surge Totem is Capacitor Totem without the glyph. You can drop it wherever you want to. It takes 5 seconds to cast, and then it goes... blurp. Earth Grab is Earth Grab. Same thing. Oh, okay, see, there it goes. Elemental Blast hit twice. However, it gave me the same buff of Critical Strike. They do not stack if they're the same. But because they technically apply like a second apart or so, you get like a little bit extra duration on it, but it does not stack 2 crits. It gives you still 1. Can I get 2 buffs, please? So much sadness. Voodoo Totem is, again, replaces Hex. It's a instant drop, 3-yard range Hex Totem. Wind Rush Totem is sort of like Roar from Druids, but it's a drop totem. You run through the duration, and then you can fly with the 60% sprint. Wow, EB, really? Fleet-footed is 6 seconds after you leave Ghost Wolf. You continue to move 20% faster, so Ghost Wolf is 30% movement speed. This is 20% after you leave for a couple seconds. Cool implications for extra movement speed. Again, there's no Spirit Walker's Grace. Man, EB, you just did 2 of the same again. You're making a liar out of me, EB. Come on now. We're running close to time on this video. Let's get with the program here. 1 more cast. Can we do it? Yes, we can. Nope, we cannot. And then Path of Flame is just 10% more Lava Burst damage and Flame Shock damage, so good for cleaving, I suppose. But there's a lot of choice here, I think, for Elemental, in a way that you can go like a super single target like Path of Flame, Echo of the Elements, Elemental Fusion, Totemic Fury, maybe Storm Elemental build, or Lightning Rod build with the artifact weapon, right? And go like super Lightning Bolt focus with this little cooldown here with Lightning Bolt, Lightning Rod, and then Totemic Fury and Lightning Rod, and Totemic Fury and Echo of the Elements and Path of Flame for crazy Lava Burst damage. Whereas you can go like a crazy pet build where you can do Sons of Flame, Storm Elemental with Ascendance where you are, and then you can give them Ancestral Swiftness if you want to. So with Path of Elements as well. Or you can go the AoE build with Magnitude and Maelstrom Totem, so you get more Maelstrom to cast more Earthquakes to make sure they always cast on every cooldown. And then you can take Fire Elemental with Primal Elementalist, and he does extra AoE too. So there's a couple of different options, I think, for the Elemental Shaman. All right, one more time. Let's try this again. Yes! There we go! Mastery and Haste, and yes, they both do apply. Whew, at the very end. But that is the new Elemental Shaman. If you want to check out my notes, the DR does not work when you have PE Earth Elemental. That is a bug. It's in my notes. But if you want to check out the rest of the notes, they're in the description below. Thank you all so much for watching. Hit that like button, helps me out a great deal. Also subscribe to my YouTube channel here and check out all the other class coverage I am doing. If you've missed class coverage, please refer to my channel guide, linked on my Twitch page in the guide button, or !guide in my Twitch chat. Maybe check out my Patreon page, which will help me actually keep doing this for a living. keep making stuff, keep testing things, keep streaming for you lovely people. I will see you all in the next testing, stream, or YouTube video. Have the great rest of your weekend, or next week. Have fun in World of Warcraft.